everyone, welcome back to the Worship Cellist. I'm David Feldman, and today we're talking about choosing a hand orientation and an octave. So this is one of the most common questions I get as I've introduced the concept of playing middle voices and hand orientations. As I've introduced that to my students, they often ask, well, how do I know whether to play in mi orientation versus la orientation? And how do I know which octave to play in? Once I know what note my first finger is on, how do I choose which one to use? So when choosing a hand orientation and octave, you have to keep a couple things in mind. First of all, any chord chart can be played in any hand orientation. There will always be a note in any orientation that fits with every single diatonic chord in your chord chart. So the choice is purely aesthetic. It's about which hand orientation gives you the best notes to support the melody and the song. It could be about how the notes harmonize with the melody in a certain moment, or simply the unique note combinations that you get as you go from one hand orientation to another. So check out the following recording, which features the same music played in every single hand orientation. Listen to the different note combinations each one provides. comes to choosing an octave, there's also no wrong choice. That said, playing a middle voice usually works best on the higher strings, like the D and the A strings. The C and the G strings tend to get a little muddy in certain situations. They can work well if the texture of the music is very sparse, but in most situations, it might clutter the sound, it might conflict with the bass player, and it's difficult to hear your intonation. And that becomes even more prominent if you're using in-ear monitors or floor wedges, which can further hinder your ability to hear your own playing. So I'd recommend sticking with the D and the A strings, especially as you get started playing a middle voice. So here's what the same passage sounds like in different octaves. So there's a lot of artistic freedom when you're making these types of decisions, but I hope these couple beginner guidelines will help you make good decisions as you develop your chart playing skills. As always, if you find this useful, like and subscribe. Happy celloing, and see you soon.